Hi everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video we're going to take defining, redefining and living words to the next level. Now what this means is, for some, the redefining, defining and living process, well, more the defining and redefining process where you, let's say, sit in front of a word which is, let's use a negative words like aggravated. And now you first get to know yourself as this word, aggravate or aggravated. And ask yourself, okay, who am I as this word? How does it feel like within myself, my body, when I become aggravated? Who or what is my trigger points, mainly in my everyday life? What is my current conscious understanding of this word? So you map out, you blueprint. Who am I as this word, aggravated? And then doing that process in only writing, all right? Then you go to the redefining. How can I redefine this word for myself? So there, an example, I'm also using me as an example and how I've worked through this word is aggravate. I now use as a tool. So aggravate does not become me anymore. It is now my tool. The tool that I use to assist and support myself in becoming and living and changing myself into a different word. So instead of aggravate, I became the word learn and teach. In other words, what can I learn from another person and what do I have to teach them? So I always found that moments in which I become aggravated with or by something or someone, especially in my life, that they have become individuals who I've learned from the most and who have learned from me as well. And, you know, the relationship became unique, maybe not deeply intimate or like friendship, but even on an acquaintance, colleague level, the relationship transformed into something much more beneficial when I started figuring out and learning and understanding why I become aggravated. It was interesting because there's also a dimension, just opening up this word, where I realized that this aggravation within myself was more also in relation to myself, because there was this, like, it's like a deep part of myself was getting annoyed with me. Like saying, hey, there's this amazing opportunity to learn something and teach as well, and you're not seeing it. Come on, wake up. So, you know, this being aggravated had nothing to do with the person, but all about me just not waking up and seeing this golden opportunity of a moment that's right here with this person. So, you know, then walking that in writing and then only getting to the living. But what I started realizing in this evolutionary process of redefining and living words, and everyone, this is the type of things that is going to happen for you too in your process when you actually start defining, redefining, and living words and start sticking to them, is that you become, in a way, more wise in how to approach the defining, redefining, and living words in a more like a faster, more effective ways, more fun, creative, expressive ways. It's like these new expressions, parts, dimensions of yourself opens up within this process as you really walk it and go for it and do it. It's all in the doing. You actually have to make it a part of your everyday life. So this particular point opened up where I decided to incorporate my body in the defining, redefining, and living process more, as follows. So what you do is, in the defining process, it is best to initially do it with writing and also use your body, where you ask yourself, okay, what's this new word that I want to live? And a new word that's been coming up for me is commitment. And obviously first defining, I was like, okay, what is the first initial definition of commitment that came up? So I first did my writing, and that was about relationship. You know, it's like the word commitment was about relationships and about the serious, intimate sexual relationships that you have with your partner. That's commitment. And only after that came commitment as in commitment in making promises to people, appointments, meetings, things like that, or, getting together with a friend or a family member or an acquaintance or doing something with them. That's a commitment. Then commitment to projects, hobbies, new things that you're adding into your life. And only after that came self-commitment. And there was kind of like a blank. What does self-commitment mean? So that was my defining. That was who I am in relation to the word commitment as it stands. Then I used my body. I was like, okay, how would I express commitment? Like if I would just put the word into my body, and what does it feel like my body wants to do? And the immediate thing my body wanted to do was, like hug my partner, or, hugs, hold him, because it's like that initial sensation of commitment is that commitment, that hold, that here-ness, that absolute embracing of my partner, which is the initial definition that came up as well. And it was interesting to see that that was the first thing that I felt like I wanted to do with my body. So even what that showed me was the extent to which that word was conditioned into the experience of my body. And, this is not something you can think about. That's also the little condition in this exercise, is you cannot want to think about what your body wants to do. You have to feel it. You have to just know it. It has to just be there. Because if you take too long, then you're thinking about it, and then you can mess with yourself. And then kind of control your body to do, again, what you want it to do instead of it showing you what it wants to do. You've got to get into that relationship with your body in that moment. Give it space to show you what it wants to express. Well, that part of you, it's not a point of separation really, is that you are accessing a deep part within yourself where you are going into that connection with a part of yourself that's been conditioned in this body of yours. So in that you're asking that deep part of you, hey, where do you stand? Deep inside of there. As the definition of this word and the conditioning of it. Now, how you can do that, if you feel that after the defining process you stand up, it's best to stand up as well and just play out the action. Maybe not have anyone who doesn't know what you're doing be around you. Otherwise it's going to be weird, standing there and just suddenly going, hugging. So, do it in your own space, just for you first. And get comfortable with it. So enjoy it. But if you find that you're like standing up and you've got thoughts of judgments and insecurities and embarrassments, even though no one is there, first work through those things. I mean, you've got to get yourself and work yourself into a space or a point within you where you're comfortable alone. Another good way to do that is put on some really funky, different dance music and dance. Be wacky, be different. Just take out those really arbitrary, ridiculous moves. But dancing will help you get out of that shell of embarrassment and insecurity of being alone with yourself and being silly and having fun while you're at it. All right. That's another way I've used. I needed to be comfortable in my own skin and be silly and have fun and be different and just be me, and dancing really supported in breaking through that quick. So that, you can just stand up and realize what you're doing here is getting to know a part of yourself. You want to get access into finding out how much you've conditioned this body of yours. Because now I know that I can change commitment as much as I want to in my head. I can do as much writing as I want. I can know the answer to the best way to redefine and live commitment, but it will not matter if my entire body is conditioned with the definition of the word commitment only in relation to my partner. The one thing, we oftentimes think that our mind is the thing that has the most control over us. It has to a certain percentage, yes. But predominantly it's also in our physical programming, our physical behavior, our physical states. And if we don't change them in unison, your physical state can supersede anything that you're trying to change inside your mind. And this is also something I emphasize and reiterate in my other courses as well, which is something about change. It cannot only happen on a mental level. It has to happen on a physical level. It has to be done in your everyday life as well, so that the two can complement one another. Because where did the conditioning of my definition with commitment start in the first place? Inside myself. And then I went on to live it in my outside world, in my everyday life. So my mind is conditioning my body, my body is conditioning my mind. It's like symbiotic relationship. All right, everyone. So for this video, what I would like you to do is assist and support yourself with just defining a word and also defining it in your physical experience for yourself. And practice just in a moment getting up and asking yourself the question quick and then acting it out for yourself. What is the first thing that comes up inside of yourself that you'd want to do with speaking the word? All right. We'll continue more in the next video. Thank you very much.